Hello everyone, Ken the Bearded Accountant here, and today I want to talk to you about Black Hawk Beard and Grooming. Now, here is the container. I've got their butter. Oop. I guess I can't get it in that well. But Black Hawk Beard and Grooming, I've got to tell you, this has been a bit of a game changer for me. I have had this butter for the last 2 months, maybe 3 months. As you can see, I've made a fairly good dent in it. And there's an aspect to this butter that I really think I've never experienced before. Before I get into it, let me just hit on some of the main pointers here. It's a 3.3 ounce butter, and the price is $43.19. So it is definitely not an inexpensive butter. I'll put up the ingredients: shea, Prakachi, Pequai, coconut oil, cocoa butter, neem butter, meadowfoam seed oil, pomegranate seed oil, and kiwi seed oil. I've had this for 2 or 3 months now, and I had been using it. I've gone away from using butters, and I was using it here and there, and I hadn't done a review of it yet because I really couldn't tell what I thought about it. It's really got a very distinct feel to it. It's a whip butter, and it's just so light and breaks down immediately, and it's got a really unique, I don't want to say clay-like texture, but sort of like a loose clay. Let me just get to the point. This has been giving me styling that is perfection. I'm not going to say it styles well, it styles perfectly. My beard, I've worn it over and over and over again, and it just, every time I do, my beard styles perfectly. It doesn't, for some reason, it doesn't fork on me when I wear it. I've heard Will a number of times talk about how you can go butter only with this. So I think it was a few Sundays ago, I was taking a day off from testing, and then I remembered that I really haven't ever tried this without oil. So I did, and my beard styled absolutely perfectly. But I felt like it was missing something because my beard was a little too light and fluffy. So what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks at least is I've been putting this in first, and then afterwards putting oil on top of it. And what I found, my beard just styles amazingly. And I was worried, is it just that putting butter on first works better than putting oil on first? I tried several other butters with oils on top of it and never got the same result. My beard just styles perfectly when I wear this. I've worn it with thin oils on top, medium oils, and today with, I can't think of the name, Ardeus Man. So thick oil. I've got Ardeus Man in right now on top of the butter, and my beard is still super light and fluffy. It doesn't feel like I've got Ardeus Man in. It doesn't feel like I've got a heavy oil in. The key for me has been to put the butter on first and then the oil afterwards, and I find it works better for me if I use a medium or thick oil. Thin oils didn't work so well for me with this. As far as the feel in beard, a lot of that depends on what oil I wear with it. When I wore this by itself without an oil, my beard felt healthy, but it still kind of didn't feel super soft. It really, when I do this in combination with an oil, it's just, when I say my beard styles perfectly, I'm not saying my beard looks perfect, but I'm saying that my beard looks about as perfect as it is capable of looking. So, I mean, even now, part of the reason my beard doesn't look great, the bottom 3 inches really should go. My beard will not fork with this stuff in. It's amazing. This I think is going to become a permanent part of my rotation. I might even start using this in my beard with everything before. I mean, obviously I'm going to have to branch out when I test other stuff, but I'm really completely digging this stuff as far as in my beard first and then oil on top of it. It's just amazing. As I mentioned, the price is $43.19, so it's not cheap, but I actually think it's worth it. I mean, for me it is. If I were to go on a date, there's no question that this is what I'm putting in my beard before I put the oil in. And I went with the unscented, only because with butters I usually get unscented because I like to use the butter with any oil I want. I don't want to just use, for example, my Ruckus butter with my Ruckus oil, or, 1912 butter with, I always get unscented. I think I'm going to stick with the unscented. I was almost happy that I needed to use oil because at first I thought maybe I was done with using oil, and I've got 3 or 4 orders on the way in right now. So that's all I've got to say for today. I mean, I really think you've got to try this, and I would really suggest you try applying the butter first and then the oil on top of it. Now, what I've been doing is I've been putting a pretty damn good amount of oil on top of this. It pretty much comes out to a little more than half of what I usually use. I usually use like 1/3 of a dropper to get into my skin, and then I use like 2/3 of a dropper on the left side and then 2/3 of a dropper on the right side. So it's about 2 droppers. What I've been doing with this is using about a dropper. I use pretty much half what I would use if I was using just oil. So I'm still getting a full dropper in my beard. I might even pick it up and use, because it seems like no matter what I put in my beard, if this in first, my beard stays light. Even with the Artiest Man in today, my beard doesn't feel heavy. It feels light and fluffy and not weighed down. For me, the way it's reacting right now is pretty good, but I tend to think the medium oil is the best matchup for this butter. And I'm just babbling at this point. I'm really excited about this. And this, I think, has now achieved permanent status in my my rotation. Like I said, if I'm going to go out on a date, or I'm going out and, hoping to meet somebody, and I want to look good, this is the way I'm going to go. So with that, I'm going to call this a wrap. Please hit that thumbs up if you think I did a good job, that notification bell if you want to see more, and that subscribe button for the hell of it. And I'll see you on the next one.